Hey guys, it's Shadow King back here for the second part of the Terraria tutorial. So this is where I'm going to actually start building the house. As you can see if you watched the last episode where I cleared all that land and I left you halfway through, I finished clearing it now and I'm going to start actually building the house. It's pretty easy to place things. All you need to do is right click on wherever you want to place it. You can't place all of the objects just floating in midair. Some of them you can, but a lot of them you can't. Like wood, I can't just place that in midair, so I've got to stay right touching the other pieces of wood to build it. Right here I put out my axe. The way to quick select an item that you want to use is you press shift, and you press shift while hovering over the item that you want to get rid of, and it should bring out the tool you need. Like, if I'm hovering over some cobblestone and I press shift, it'll pull out my pickaxe straight away. And so that's very helpful. And here I've got into the crafting menu, which all you need to do is press escape, and it'll bring it up. And when you stand near a crafting bench, or a workbench it's called in this, it'll it'll show you all the things you can craft with the items you have. And all you need to do is click on it and drag it into your inventory. And yeah. Right now I'm building a few things I'm going to need to finish the house, like a hammer, which is good for getting rid of, like, see the dirt in the background. It'll get rid of all that stuff. Also built a door so I can, put in the doorways. And right now I'm putting in a secondary door so there's room for another room. I'm also going to kill this bunny because I don't like intruders in my houses and I think it deserves to die. And it's also funny when he explodes. And maybe this bird here, I might kill him too. Yep. And so now, as you can see, I'm going to go back to the house and finish building. I'm going to put the door down. You've got to be facing the direction you want to place the door. You can't just like click there. And yeah, what I did then is, because I pressed shift and I wasn't hovering over anything, I accidentally placed a torch, which now you've got to get rid of. You can use a hammer to do that, or that's pretty much the only item you can use to get rid of them. But yeah, so now I'm going to place the door, and now I'm going to start to get rid of some. No, actually, I'm going to start placing the chairs down in the house, which a chair and a table and a light source, they're a necessity in a house, because if you don't have them, a bot will not go and live there. And if a bot can't live there, that means if a bot dies, it can't respawn at daytime. So that's not good. And if you're not going to have a good time if you do that. So I recommend, making sure bots can spawn in your houses. Also, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to cut a hole in the roof. And what I'm going to do with that hole is I'm going to build it so you can climb to the next level of the house, which I'm not going to build in this walkthrough part, but I'm going to build it later on. So yeah, now I'm going to get rid of all this dirt here, or maybe not. I'm going to make this stairwell kind of thing above here, that they're called wooden platforms. All you need to do is jump on top of them, and then if you press down on the keyboard you can drop below them. And so they're pretty much the easiest way to make stairs. Instead of having to make that whole stairwell shape and everything, which takes ages, just use these, they're so much easier. Now I'm going to get rid of all this dirt in the background so I can place some wooden walls, which look a lot better than this dirt, which I hate the look of. And yeah, it's going to take a while to get rid of this because I'm using the starter hammer, which is very slow, but slowly we'll get better items. Like, they get faster and do more, like, mine the stuff quicker later on, except, I've just started this character and it's, going to take a while. So, while it's doing this, I'm just going to tell you some of the perks of having Terraria. Unlike Minecraft, you can have several worlds which your characters, you can change which characters in them. So, say I've played a world and I've got a really good character, and then I start a new world, I can put that really good character into that world with all the items that he has in his inventory, which is very helpful. And yeah, so I could just put any character into this world by just clicking on him in my character selection and then clicking on the world. That's also helpful for getting a quick start to a world. If, like, you can't be bothered doing all this stuff I'm doing here and you just want to do it quickly, you can just pick your character that you've already finished the game with and just build a house and everything in like 5 minutes, not even. And so yeah, I'm still getting rid of these walls. As you can see, it takes ages with this starter hammer, and yeah, it's going to take a while. And also, if like the chairs and crafting benches that I put down, if you hit them with the hammer, they will get destroyed, which you'll see in a sec. And just make sure you remember to put them down before you try to make your bot live in the house, or else it won't work. As you can see outside, it's getting a bit dark, and when it gets darker, harder enemies spawn. Like, enemies can spawn during the day, but they're pretty easy to kill. At night time, there's heaps of enemies spawn, like zombies, floating eyes, everything pretty much. See there to the left of the screen, if you can see it, there's a zombie jumping around. They're not too strong, but when there's a lot of them, it's really hard to kill them. Like, I think they've got about 40 health, which is not too much, but at the start, it takes a while to kill. Like, as you can see, I'm taking off 2 to 3 health each hit, which isn't really much. So, I need to hit them a few times just to kill them. Later on, you'll be able to kill them a lot easier, and they won't be a trouble to you, but for now, they'll take a while to kill. And so here I'm going to light up the house, and so guys can't spawn in there. I'm going to finish destroying all of the dirt walls that I've got. So yeah, now I'm going to start building these 2 rooms into separate rooms, so my bots can live in there. Because if they've got this bit where they can drop down, that means enemies can just walk into the house, which you don't want. So I'm putting doorways there, so because the enemies can't open doors unless they attack them a lot, which takes them like 10 minutes, and I'll be able to get there in time. So yeah, if I put doorways there, it's pretty much going to stop enemies getting into, you know, mine or my bots' houses, so they can't kill us. Another thing in this game, you can't sleep to stop you know, it from being nighttime and wake up in the morning. In this, the only use of a bed is to change your spawn point, because in this game you always spawn at the first spawn point, no matter what. Like, even if you were, you know, in your house when you saved and exited, you will spawn at the spawn point unless you placed a bed in your house, which you can only really make later on in the game. I'll show you how, but that's a later on in the game thing. You can't make it for a while. So yeah, here I'm making wooden walls, which I can place in the background of the house to make it look better. They also make it so bots can live in there, because right now all this is just almost like a frame of a house. So to make it more like a house where the bot can live, I need to place walls, which I'm going to do now. As you can see, when I place walls, there might be like cracks in between them if I move them too far away from each other. And the easy way to fix that is just like hover over the cracks to fill it in. If you've got cracks like that, you know, the bots can't spawn in your houses and they can't move in and live there. So that's not good for you, because that tends to bots staying out at night like my guide is right now and dying. So yeah, I'm just going to keep building these walls. It shouldn't take that long, and making sure I don't leave any cracks anywhere. As you can see, it's still getting darker, so there's a little while left in the night, and night in this game lasts a lot longer than night in Minecraft. So yeah, the zombie there, he's gonna try and get into my house, which hopefully he doesn't. And as you can see on the house to the left, there's now a flag up there with the face of the guide, and that means that the guide has now moved into there, which means he'll come back soon and he will start living there.